Good evening, Nghi. Welcome to your IELTS writing class. This is lesson number 17, and today we will finish Unit 8 writing. Let's review last lesson and then move on to the second part. So, Unit 8 writing is about culture. And for writing skill, we reviewed both task 1 and task 2. In particular, we described a process in task 1 and give opposing views and your own opinion in task 2. So today we will review task 1 and move on to exploring task 2 together with writing a complete essay. The lead-in section of the unit introduced us to various definitions of culture. So you see abstract concepts like culture and other concepts such as hope, love, peace, and so on. They are abstract concepts made by humans. That's why there are so many different definitions about the concept. So depending on their point of view, depending on their understanding, they can have different definitions of one abstract concept, and that is the same for culture. So we are introduced to 4 different definitions. So remember, when you talk about something, so for example, in a discussion, normally you need to start by defining the concept that we're talking about so that everyone is on the same page. Okay, anyway, these 4 definitions help us to have a better, more well-rounded view of the concept culture. Okay, and then we discuss our own culture, looking at the food and cuisine, national dress, social etiquette, language, traditions, and festivals. So there are many aspects of a country's culture that we can talk about. Okay, besides that, because culture means the way we do things around here, or culture is a collective programming of the mind. So there are so many other aspects. As long as there are humans around the world, there are distinct or unique aspects of culture about them. So food, dress, etiquette, language, traditions, and festivals are not the only aspects we discuss when we talk about culture. So let me just give you an example. There are so many other aspects we can discuss when we talk about culture. So let's have a look at a diagram to see that better. So here are some more aspects of culture we can talk about. So we see language, right? We see language. A country's language reflects their culture. Traditions, rituals, techniques, skills, tools, objects, the arts, food and drink, values, community, knowledge, and story. So yeah, even family values. So culture can be attitudes, beliefs, language, customs, rituals, behaviors, faith, religion, food, art, drama, music, attitude. So culture can be so wide-reaching in so many aspects. So remember, when we talk about culture, there are many things that we can discuss, not just food, dress, etiquette, or language. Okay, so last lesson, we explored how to describe a process. So remember, for a process diagram, we follow the standard task 1 structure. That is, beginning your writing report with an introduction, followed by an overview, together with the body paragraphs that describe the steps in the process. And in the process, there are 2 distinct features of process diagram description. Number 1, that is, you use linkers. You use discourse markers to link the steps in the process. In other words, sequencing markers. Yeah. So sequencing markers are important in process diagram. That's number 1. Number 2 aspect you must pay attention to is the use of passive sentences, especially advanced passive techniques. So we have passive voice is be plus verb 3, right? Verb past participle. However, there are advanced passive structure. For example, have to and can and ready. So you can use these three structure in a passive sentence to make advanced one. 4 of these squares have to be tied together. And next, the square and triangular tissue paper shapes can be stuck onto the frame. The lantern is then ready to be hung on a light bulb. So you see, these are advanced, advanced passive voice sentences. So remember, when you have like instructions, you can use these structures. Okay. What is more? We also talk about the imperatives. Yeah, imperatives is special to this sample answer because the process diagram is providing steps to do something, providing an instruction. So the nature of the instruction is to use imperatives. For example, cut out 25 bamboo sticks, tie their corners together, and so on. Yeah, so a feature of instruction is to use imperatives. So pay attention, imperative is not a must, but when you have instructions like this, you can use imperatives. Okay, so I just quickly summed up last lesson together with some notes that you can pay attention to when you write process description. Nghi, do you have any questions about this type of writing?
No, I don't.
Okay, so actually process description is the simplest among the 6 main task types like process, map, line chart, bar chart, pie chart, and table. So process is the simplest. However, in order to get a high score in process, we need to really show our vocabulary and our grammar. So your writing is much better. Yeah, especially the sorry, I'm opening your writing. Just a moment. Especially the task 1 about the clock making. Yeah, the clock making process. I really like your writing. Okay, so actually I just sent it to you just before the lesson. So let's have a look. So we see very clear division of paragraphs. Okay, and I really like how you divided the steps from the initial stages to the ones with refined wooden blocks. And I like how you use not only passive voice sentences, but also a lot of relative clauses to add information. You also use advanced sentence structures such as once, the next step involves, and finally. Okay. All right. So I believe your writing is at band 8 and just a little bit of adjustments. So for example, the introduction can be even higher level. The diagram shows how traditional wooden shoes called clogs are made. So it's very standard, right? However, in order to make it the next level, you may want to use a different verb. The diagram illustrates the process of producing traditional wooden footwear known as clogs. So that instead of simply how traditional wooden shoes are made, you can say the process of producing traditional wooden footwear. Yeah, footwear is another synonym for shoes. Okay. So once, this one is a very high level sentence. I really like it. Maybe you'd like to make the subject more specific. Once the basic shape is completed, the shoe is further refined using a knife to smooth out sharp edges, which could otherwise cause discomfort to the wearer. Okay, right. So the rest I have sent in the email. You can have a look in your free time. And please refer to the sample answer in the book as well to see how it is different from your own writing and how you can refine your writing further and learn interesting phrases and structures. So Nghi, do you want to spend time reading the sample or should we move on to the next part?
I think I would need time to read the sample.
Okay. So yeah, right. So please spend a few minutes to read the sample to learn from it. And then if you have questions, feel free to ask me and we can discuss the structure. Sorry, let me just open the file on my computer so we can see it clearer. Okay, so here it is. Please spend some minutes to read through.
Now finished.
Okay, thank you very much. So do you have any question about this writing?
I think that is writing is a bit different from mine, which is combine the overall with the introduction and then the conclusion. It has a conclusion at the end.
That's right. So yeah, firstly, you commented on the introduction and the overview being in one paragraph, right? This is acceptable in IELTS writing. And it's actually, this is a sample from Cambridge book, from our course book, from the course book by Cambridge. So if the introduction is short and the overview is not too long, you can combine them into one paragraph. So that is acceptable, right? So number one, if you want, the introduction and the overview can be separate into two paragraphs. However, it can also be combined. It depends on writing preferences. However, they are often combined when they are not too long. For example, you see the introduction and the overview are just one, sorry, each contain just one sentence, right? So they combine that to make the paragraph look more complete. And the second thing about the conclusion, so it's optional. If you want to write a conclusion, this is how you can do it. So this, meaning the final stage, this completes the process of making traditional wooden footwear or cloths by hand. Okay, so that's how you can conclude a process diagram. And what is more, the conclusion is optional. So don't worry too much about not writing a conclusion. If you do, it might help you reach the word count. If you don't, that's all right because it's optional. Okay, does that answer you?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay, right. Okay, so basically the sentence structures are advanced, and I see that you have a lot of sentence structures that are similar as well. The first stage is, after this, once, the next stage in the process is, and the final task is, yeah. Okay, so I've sent this into the email for you so you can open it and read it again anytime you are free. Remember, don't worry about reading something again or doing listening, reading, writing, speaking something again, okay? So repetition is very important in language learning. So feel free to read sample answers, sample writings again and again until you really learn the structure and the vocabulary. What else you could do more? So you can even highlight, you can highlight the essential words and structure. For example, okay, let me just show you. Okay, you can highlight, you can print out and highlight, or you can highlight in your file. Okay, the diagram shows the traditional technique used for carving wooden shoes known as clock. So those are some more collocation. When you learn words, when you read write sample writings, I really want you to pay attention to collocation, the words that go together naturally, because they not only help you with your reading, they help you with your speaking and writing as well. Okay, to obtain wood, okay, obtain, to get something. So those are high level verbs there. Okay, so I'm just encouraging you to read and reread and read actively. That is, highlighting the key words and structure and really look at the organization of the writing. All right, so thank you very much for reading. Now let's move to task 2 essay. So we have analyzed a sample essay in the last lesson, so feel free to review that. Now let's go into the practice. Task 2 essay, giving opposing views and your own opinion. For this kind of essay, you need to discuss two positions on a question and then give your own. Your own opinion can be to take one side or the other, to partly agree with one or both, or even to disagree with both positions and offer an alternative view. So there, the task is allowing you a lot of freedom to express your opinion. Okay, so you can agree with side 1 or side 2 or side A or B. Okay, so you can either agree with A or either agree with B, partly agree with A, partly agree with B, or even to disagree with both and offer your own view. Okay, whatever you write, make sure that your view is clear, supported with examples and explanation. Hey, yeah, so that's what the book said. The key is to make sure that your opinion is clear, and as with all task 2 essays, support your arguments with examples, reasons, explanation, etc. Okay, but pay attention. The question is, discuss both these views and give your opinion. However, some tasks may ask you only discuss both these views. So you must be very careful and alert when you read the question and do as the question asks. Okay? So if the question only asks you discuss both these views, you only spend one body paragraph to explain view A, another body paragraph to explain view B, and that's all. Summarize the view. And that's all. You don't have to give your own opinion. If they do ask you, discuss both these views and give your opinion, then you do the third step, give your opinion. Okay, right. So now let's look at a task 2 essay question. Can you read the task question here for me? Some people. Hello, Nghi, can you read aloud the task 2 question here for me?
Some people believe that a person's culture is defined by their country of origin. Opinion A, while others believe that has only a minor influence. Opinion B, discuss both these views and give your opinion. Give reasons for your answer and include any relevant examples from your own knowledge and experience.
Thank you very much. Well done. Okay, so view A is a person's culture is defined by their country of origin. Okay, so the country where they were born. So the country where they were born will affect their culture. However, others believe that, so their country of origin has only a minor influence. So influence on a person's culture. Okay, so your task now is to read extracts 1 to 6 from a candidate's answer, and please label them A for opinion A or B for opinion B. All right. Okay, Nghi, so please complete exercise 7. When you are finished, please read aloud each view each opinion and tell me whether they are A or B. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you very much. So good luck with exercise 7.
I have finished.
Thank you very much. Can you read aloud the opinions and tell me whether they are A or B?
In my experience, it depends on which cultural background someone is from. Some people are able to discard their national identities more readily than others. It's opinion B.
Good job. Thank you very much. Number 2, please.
Although many people believe a person's country no longer has a great influence on their culture, what I believe is that under the surface, the impact of where a person is from is enormous. It is opinion A.
Thank you. So, an importance on the country of origin. Good job. Number 3, please.
It is evident to me that we can never truly escape our origins. They are with us from birth and they are present during our formative years. Opinion A.
Well done. Very good. Number 4, please.
Some people are of the opinion that, for example, because the same fast food chains exist in every country, everyone likes the same food. However, the reality is that in most parts of the world, people eat the same food typical of their own country or origin almost every day. Opinion A.
Okay. 1, 2, 3 is quite clear. But how do you know opinion 4 is supporting A? Can you
Because
explain why 4 is A?
they said that the reality is people eat the same food typical of their own country or origin. And so is a person culture is defined by the country or origin is related to opinion A.
I see. Okay, so yeah, opinion A is talking about the importance of country of origin, and this opinion is saying that despite the fact that there are fast food chains in every country, yeah, people still eat their national food. Do you mean?
Yes.
Good job. Okay, So this one is actually talking about the aspect of food and culture, right? Well done. Okay, number 5, please.
Well, it may be true that certain aspects of culture are shared by people from all over the world. We cannot deny that our beliefs and behaviors are shaped by the national environment in which we grow up. Opinion A.
Yeah. The national environment in which we grow up. Well done. Okay, and number 6.
Well, I admit that the country of origin is a major factor in determining one's culture. I strongly believe that anyone who moves overseas for work or study can be equally influenced by the culture of this host country. Opinion B.
Good job. Okay, and can you say this word again with me? Determining.
De determining.
That's right. Determining. It's not mine. Okay. And also even the verb, even the infinitive verb is determine. Determine. Yeah. Okay, so this is B. Right. Well done. So we have 4 A's and only 2 B's. Wow. Okay, good job. So if you don't have any questions about this one, let's explore exercise 8. Please look again at the extracts in exercise 7. Identify the expressions which are used to introduce an opinion. All right. So for this exercise number 8, I'd like you to find the phrases, the expressions that help the writer express their own opinion. Okay, so for this one, I will give you 5 minutes and I'd like you to type your answer in the chat box. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, I did not make it clear. You need to identify the expressions which are used to introduce an opinion. So just opinion in general. It doesn't matter whose, okay? It can be from the writer or from other people, okay? So introduce opinion in general.
You want me to type that in the chat box?
Yes, please. Please find the expressions to introduce opinion and type them into the chat box. Thank you very much.
Dạ con gửi rồi.
Ok, thank you very much. Cô cảm ơn Nghi nhá. Bây giờ cô xin mời con tham khảo đáp án của bài 8 trong lúc cô sẽ xem phần con làm nhá. Unit 8 Writing Exercise 7. Ok, cô xin mời Nghi xem trong phần bài 8 đây nhá. Right, như vậy chúng ta có câu 1 là In my experience, hai, what I believe is that. 3, it is evident to me that. The reality is that. Ok, cô cứ lo là Nghi không tìm được cho câu 4 nhưng mà chúng ta đã làm rất là tốt rồi nhá. Thì mặc dù là người ta hay nói là the reality is that, nghe nó có vẻ rất là factual đúng không ạ? Rất là để kiểu như là để giới thiệu một cái sự thực nào đấy. Nhưng mà thực ra cái sự thực này là dựa trên quan điểm của người viết ạ. Và đặc biệt là quan điểm đang muốn chứng minh một cái điều gì đấy ngược lại với một cái quan điểm đối lập. So the reality is that is used to present an opposing opinion. Okay, we cannot deny that, and I strongly believe that. Well done, Nhi. You did this exercise really well, so no more corrections needed. So these are advanced structure for you to use in discussion essay to express opinion. Okay, well, that's time's up. Okay, so Unit 8 writing is done. Now let's continue. Now I'd like you to practice using those structures to express your opinion. Okay, so let's complete the sentences with your own ideas. Okay, number 1, some people believe that you can learn a language without knowing the culture. My own view is. Number 2, there is a widespread belief that the world is a global village. However, it seems to me that on the one hand, it is possible to argue that our country of origin defines us. On the other hand, so for these three excerpts, you may want to give an opposing view. Yeah. Okay, so can you please complete the sentences with your own idea? My suggestion is to think of something opposite, something that argues against the previous sentence. Okay, so do you understand exercise 9?
Yes, I do.
Do you need me to help you further with any ideas or examples? Okay, let's just try. Let's just try and practice writing. Okay, so please complete the sentences with your own ideas. I will give you, let's say, 10 minutes for this task, thinking, writing, and then sharing that with me in the chat box. Thank you. So 10 minutes, beginning now. Hello, Nguyên Nghi. So that is 10 minutes. Have you finished?
I'm checking for grammatical mistake.
Okay. So so when you finish, feel free to send that into the chat box for me. Thank you.
Dạ con gửi rồi.
Ok, cô cảm ơn Nghi nhé. Bây giờ cô sẽ chuyển qua phần answer key để con tham khảo. Đầu tiên là sẽ copy lại cái bài 9 này đã này. Ok. Nào, bây giờ cô mời Nghi trong lúc cô đang xem cái phần con viết thì con sẽ tham khảo trong giáo trình nhé. Unit 8, Exercise 9. Ok, cái phần câu gốc thì nó bên trái và sample answer bên phải Nghi nhé. Ok, rồi cô cảm ơn Nghi. Cô thấy các câu con viết rất là hay nhá, thậm chí là còn hay hơn cả sample answer trong giáo trình nữa. Như vậy trong giáo trình thì con sẽ chỉ tham khảo để biết cái cách viết khác thôi. Đó. Và các cái idea khác nữa chẳng hạn. Ví dụ như là number one sample answer thì con sẽ hiểu thêm về về English và culture của nó đúng không ạ? Đó. Ok, và ví dụ sample answer number three thì con có thể hiểu thêm một số các cái aspects of culture, là nó có thể là impossible to separate the culture of one nation from others. Ok, thì các câu con viết cũng rất là hay. Cô thấy là như cô vừa nói là còn hay hơn cả trong giáo trình nữa. Thì cô chỉ đang đặt một câu hỏi ở cái phần câu 3 của con đấy ạ. On the one hand, it is possible to argue that our country of origin defines us. On the other hand, personal experiences, education, and individual preferences often play a more influential role in shaping our identity. Thì cô đang nghĩ về các cái aspects mà nó có thể shape a person's identity, thì con đã thực sự là chắc là đấy chính là ba cái yếu tố mà nó ảnh hưởng đến cái tính cá nhân của từng người chưa? Cái identity của từng người chưa? Cái nhận dạng của từng người. Còn yếu tố nào khác nữa không, hay là ba cái yếu tố này nó đóng vai trò quan trọng trong việc định hình tính cách của một người? Đây là cô đang
Dạ,
đặt câu hỏi là không phải là về ngữ pháp hay từ vựng nữa, mà đây là về background knowledge đấy ạ. Theo con thì tại sao con lại chọn ba cái khía cạnh đó?
dạ là con nghĩ còn, nhưng mà con nghĩ ba cái này là quan trọng. Nó là chính trong những cái mà có thể ảnh hưởng đến một cái identity của một người.
Ừ. Country of origin defines us. Tuy nhiên là có thể một người mà sinh ra, chẳng hạn sinh ra ở Việt Nam nhưng mà sau đó lại sống phần lớn cuộc đời ở Mỹ chẳng hạn, đúng không ạ? Thì đúng là sẽ có personal experiences này, và education là education của nước khác chứ không còn là cái nước mình sinh ra nữa. Ok, cô cũng công nhận. Đó, ok, đó thì cô chỉ đặt câu hỏi thôi. Giả sử con coi là personal experiences này, preferences và education nó quan trọng hơn, thì khi mà con giả sử con mà viết cái đoạn văn này sâu hơn thì con sẽ phải lấy các cái ví dụ thật là sát và thật là, nghĩa là relevant ấy, relevant and specific example to support your answer. Ok, đó, thì cô thấy Nhi viết rất là hay đó. Thì thậm chí là cô cũng muốn là biết thêm, không biết là trong nếu con viết như thế này thì các đoạn văn sau con sẽ bảo vệ quan điểm của mình như thế nào. Đó, thì rất là hay nhé. Cô chỉ lưu ý một chút là on the other hand, personal experiences, preferences and education. Có lẽ con để cái thứ tự các cụm từ như vậy thì nó sẽ hay hơn. Bởi vì con đang nói đến cái trải nghiệm cá nhân và cái sở thích của từng cá nhân, đúng không ạ? Đó, thì để hai cái cụm từ đấy cạnh nhau. Đó, hoặc là con muốn nhấn mạnh cái nào quan trọng nhất con có thể cho lên đầu cũng được. Education, personal experiences and preferences. Đó. Bởi vì chúng ta không cần lặp lại personal với cả individual nữa. Cái này thì chỉ là về wording thôi nhé. Thế còn về idea thì cô đã thấy cái lập luận của cô đã hiểu cái lập luận của Nhi rồi. Đó, thì ví dụ ở đây thì education có nghĩ là một yếu tố quan trọng, một yếu tố quan trọng trong cái việc định hình tính cách của một người, bản sắc của một người. Đó, con có thể để lên đầu. Đó, education này, và personal experiences and preferences. Đó, thì không cần nhắc lại individual nữa. Đó, ok. Đó, thì đấy là gợi ý của cô để cho cái wording nó mượt hơn nhé. Còn lại là rất là ổn rồi ạ. Alright. Rồi, như vậy là mình vừa thực hiện hoạt động chia sẻ quan điểm để phản bác lại một quan điểm trái chiều. Và đấy là việc mình cần làm trong bài discussion, bài thảo luận. Đã gọi là thảo luận thì chúng ta phải bàn về các cái luồng quan điểm khác nhau, trái chiều, và bảo vệ được quan điểm của mình nhé. Rất là tốt ạ. Ok. Thế bây giờ chúng ta sẽ làm hai việc nữa. Đấy chính là writing a complete essay. Thì cô muốn hỏi Nghi một chút, theo con là con muốn thế nào? Hôm nay con có muốn dành thời gian ở trong lớp để viết trọn vẹn một bài luận không? Hay là con sẽ viết ở nhà? Đó, bởi vì nếu mà con muốn viết ở trên lớp thì bây giờ cô trò mình sẽ dành phần bài 11 và bài 10 để làm bài tập về nhà. Và sau đó là con sẽ viết task 2 luôn. Đó, thì cô cho Hằng Nhi hai lựa chọn nhé. Một là con sẽ viết ở trên lớp thì bây giờ con có thể làm task 2 luôn này. Còn nếu con muốn viết ở nhà thì bây giờ chúng ta sẽ làm tuần tự các bài còn lại. Thì cô Trang Nhi lựa chọn.
Dạ con muốn học kỹ trước rồi về nhà viết sau.
Ok, đó nhá. Rồi, thế thì chúng ta cứ làm tuần tự bài 10 và 11 nhá. Thì bài 10 đó chính là các quy trình, các cái checklist để chúng ta viết một cái bài luận. Ok, thì con sẽ đọc 8 cái bước này, sau đó con điền từ phù hợp trong hộp này vào các cái câu cho nó đúng với cái quy trình. Và bài 11 thì chúng ta sẽ đọc một bài mẫu, chúng ta sẽ đọc một cái bài discussion tham khảo và chúng ta phân tích nó. Ok, thế Nhi sẽ làm cho cô bài số 10 trước nhé. Okay, write a complete essay. For each essay type you can encounter in the IELTS test, make sure you are clear on how best to plan and organize your writing. It is a good idea to make checklists for each type to use when you are practicing and to help you in the exam itself. Đó, thì cái phần này người ta cũng nhấn mạnh cái tầm quan trọng của việc là con phải phải lên kế hoạch và lập dàn ý và tổ chức cho cái bài luận của mình nhé. Thì Nghi sẽ thực hiện bài 10 để nắm được các bước như thế. Right, so complete the checklist on writing a test 2 essay using the words in the box. You have 5 minutes. When you finish, please read aloud the steps with the complete answers. So 5 minutes.
I finished.
Okay, thank you very much. So can you tell me the checklist on writing a writing test 2 essay?
Read the question carefully and highlight any keywords. Circle any instruction words.
Very good. Okay, number 2, please.
Make a brief plan of the structure of your essay. Decide how many paragraphs you will need. Note down some key vocabulary.
Good job. Okay, number 3.
In your introduction and overview, paraphrase the question, include your opinion if appropriate, and an outline of what you intend to argue.
Good job. An outline. Number 4, please.
When writing your body paragraphs, ensure each one contains a clear topic sentence, usually the first sentence. Remember to give specific examples or explanations to support each main point.
Good job. Examples and explanations. Well done. And number 5.
If you are arguing in favor of one opinion, make sure you discuss at least 1 or 2 points representing the opposing view.
Thank you. And can you say this verb again with me? Representing.
Representing.
Because it's the stress of the word is on the third syllable, representing. Okay, the third syllable, sent. Okay, thank you. Number 6, please.
As you write, keep in mind the need for a variety of grammatical structure and a wide range of cohesive devices.
And can you say the word plural again? Devices.
Devices.
That's right. When a noun ends with a sibilant sound like s, z, ch, j, sh, the s or es is pronounced is. So it becomes device, plural becomes devices. Okay, so a wide range of cohesive devices. Do you know what cohesive devices are?
Like linking verbs.
Sorry, can you say that again?
They're like linking verbs. Verbs with
Yes.
different ideas together.
Actually, linking words. Can you say that? Linking words.
Linking word.
Yeah, so they are not verbs, okay? They are words like adverbs. Actually, most of them are adverbs, okay? Like firstly, secondly. Okay, number 7, please.
Include a conclusion as a separate paragraph.
Thank you. And number 8.
Finally, proofread your essay for errors, such as spelling mistakes.
Okay, so this is actually a very detailed instruction on how to write task 2. For me, I just sum it up in 3 steps. Think and plan. So think and plan maybe from 1 to 3, and write and check. So 4 to 8. Yeah. So yeah. The 3 steps is easy to remember, but the 8 steps here, they are very clear and specific on what you should do. Right? Anyway, I think you know the basics right now. So let's continue to exercise 11. So for this one, I'd like you to read the essay and then answer the question. So the task here again. Some people believe that a person's culture is defined by their country of origin, while others believe that has only a minor influence. Discuss both these views and give your opinion. So it's that essay. So now we will read and discuss 5 questions here. Okay, let me just do 2 page. Okay, so let me see. The questions will be on the left and the essay is on the right. Okay, so just take your time, read the essay, and then answer the 5 questions to understand it better. When you finish, you can open your microphone and tell me your opinion on this. Okay.
I have finished.
Okay, thank you very much. So let's discuss this type of answer. Let's start with question 1. Does the introduction clearly explain what the essay will be about?
Yes, it does.
So can you tell me how does it start, the introduction? How does the introduction start?
First of all, the writers clearly define the definition of culture,
Mhm.
and then they mention both two opinion, and then finally he or she clearly restate her opinion.
Good job. So that goes to question 2. Where does the candidate make their position and opinion clear in the essay?
Is at the end of the introduction. I
Mm,
would lean towards the later, which is just one of many factors in play.
good job.
Mm.
So is the writer supporting view A, country of origin, or view B?
View B.
Yes, so other factors are important as well. Good job. So now let's move to question 3. Which opinion from the question does the candidate discuss in paragraph 2?
Opinion A.
Good job. So country of origin. Now, can you read the topic sentence?
If someone is born and raised in a place, they will be heavily influenced by it.
Good job. Why is it not? Why is it not the first sentence?
Because the first sentence does not tell what the paragraph is going to explain for.
Good job. So this is also another strategy for you to make your writing more interesting. So the first sentence is actually a lead-in, you say. It can be, the topic sentence can be the second sentence. Yeah, so the first sentence is just a lead-in to introduce the topic of the paragraph. So the defining influence argument. So the whole home country defines a person's culture. So the second sentence, like you said, right? If someone is born and raised. Can you say this verb again with me? Raised.
Raised.
Okay, so be careful because there are some verbs that can be similar. So rise. This is rise. It's pronounced I, right? I. And this is like the sun rises in the east, or everyone rise. Đấy, đứng lên đó, hoặc là mọc lên. Thế còn raise. Raise. We say raise. So to raise somebody or to be raised by somebody. So to bring up someone. Okay? Thì ghi chú ý cho cô nhé. Rise là đứng lên hoặc mọc lên hoặc dơ lên. Rise. Thế còn raise là A ạ. Và nó nghĩa là nuôi nấng ai đó. Okay? Thì mình nói lại cùng cô hai động từ này nhé. Rise.
Rise.
The sun rises in the east. Raise.
Raise.
Your mom raised you well. Ví dụ thế đúng không ạ? Ok, thì ta nhớ hai động từ đó. Okay, so let's come back to the question. So we know the topic sentence that if someone is born and raised in a place, they will be heavily influenced by it. Okay. And now, how many reasons or examples are given to support it?
There are 3 examples are given to support it.
Can you tell me what they are?
The first one is psychologists refer to this as the nurture argument. You are a product of your environment. The second one is, for example, if your country's cuisine uses certain ingredients, and your palate gets accustomed to those ingredients, but might struggle with other less familiar flavors. And the final one is, if your country has a traditional style of music, say reggae or rock, all citizens will be exposed to it and as a result are more likely to enjoy it.
Good job. So we can say there are 3 pieces of supporting evidence. However, the first one is actually the explanation. Psychologists refer to this as the nurture argument. So the person, the writer is explaining. The writer is explaining the defining influence. So there, the first sentence, the psychologist that you said, is actually the explanation. And the rest, we have two. The rest are two examples. So one is about cuisine and another is about music. Okay, good job. So you have found out the organization of paragraph 2 or body paragraph 1. Okay, now let's talk about paragraph 3 or body paragraph 2. Which opinion does paragraph 3 discuss?
Opinion B.
And can you find the topic sentence?
On the other side of the argument, we need to consider the effects of globalization.
So the effects of globalization on a person's culture. Yeah, good job. And why do you think the candidate chose to discuss globalization?
Because it is their opinion.
But
It is their opinion.
what does globalization do to help the candidate answer view B? Okay, so view B again. Others believe that has only a minor influence. So others believe their country of origin has only a minor influence on their culture. Okay, so why does the writer choose globalization to discuss, to protect, to support view B? Ok, có thể chúng ta có thể nói bằng tiếng Việt để con có thể dễ hơn nhé. Thì câu hỏi số 4 đúng không ạ? Thì câu chủ đề là gì? Và Nghi đã vừa đọc là câu chủ đề là câu đầu tiên đúng không ạ? Ở phía bên kia của lập luận thì chúng ta cũng cần xem xét các cái hệ quả của toàn cầu hóa. Vậy thì cái view B nó chính là cái đất nước mà một người sinh ra có ít ảnh hưởng lên cái văn hóa của cái người đó. Okay. Nó không nói, người ta không nói gì đến globalization. Tuy nhiên ở trong paragraph 3 này, người viết lại chọn nói về globalization. Thì vấn đề cô đang hỏi ở đây là tại sao người ta lại chọn nói đến toàn cầu hóa để bổ trợ cho cái view B ạ?
Because I think it's related to view B and is strike an opposing view from view A that already mentioned in the second paragraph.
So globalization has a relationship with view B. Can you explain more clearly what is the relationship between the topic globalization and view B, that is a person's country of origin does not have much effect on their culture?
One of the benefits of globalization is that it offers us a selection of cultural possibilities to choose from.
Thế chính xác đấy ạ, nghĩa là con đang lấy cái lập luận từ trong sách để giải thích, từ trong bài để giải thích đúng không ạ? Good job. Đó thì ý của cô muốn hỏi ở đây là tại sao người ta lại bàn về globalization khi người ta giải thích view B đúng không ạ? Đấy thì con phải hiểu bản chất của cái nội dung đấy để mình có thể triển khai tiếp được cái đoạn văn đúng không ạ? Đó thì đơn giản bởi vì globalization có tác động lớn lên văn hóa của một người hơn là hoặc là so sánh với đất nước người đó sinh ra. Ok, đó, thì Nghi thấy lý do cô hỏi Nghi tại sao người ta lại chọn nói về globalization để bổ trợ cho cái view B ấy, thì đấy cũng là một cái lối tư duy để con có thể áp dụng khi con viết cái bài viết của chính con về chủ đề gì đi chăng nữa. Ok, thì discuss view A, discuss view B, thì để mà discuss được thì con phải giải thích được nó, phải phân tích được nó, phải đưa ra ví dụ cho nó. Đó thì chẳng hạn review B là đất nước một người sinh ra không có ảnh hưởng quá lớn đến cái văn hóa của người đấy. Vậy thì nếu không có ảnh hưởng lớn lên văn hóa của người đấy, đúng không ạ? Thì cái gì mới ảnh hưởng lên văn hóa của người đấy? Ok, thì cái gì ở đây chính là globalization. Alright. Cái mục đích cô muốn hỏi Nghi như vậy để con hiểu bản chất của cái bài Discuss both views and give your opinion. Bản chất của bài Discuss both views and give your opinion đấy chính là con phải phân tích được, phải giải thích được tại sao người ta lại có quan điểm A, tại sao người ta lại có quan điểm B. Thì cái A thì rõ rồi đúng không ạ? Một người sinh ra một nước nào đó thì người ta sẽ chịu ảnh hưởng lớn của cái nền văn hóa của nước đấy. Ờ, Trong tâm lý học thì người ta gọi cái lập luận này là nurture argument, nghĩa là cái lập luận để ủng hộ cái việc bạn là sản phẩm của cái môi trường mà bạn sống. Đó, chẳng hạn là có ẩm thực, có âm nhạc, đúng không ạ? Thì cái đấy mình nhìn rõ cái mối quan hệ logic rồi. Thế còn cái view B, đúng không ạ, là đất nước chúng ta sinh ra không có ảnh hưởng lớn đến cái văn hóa của chúng ta. Cái văn hóa nghĩa là cái niềm tin, giá trị, thái độ và hành vi của chúng ta. Đó, vậy thì nếu mà người ta có view B thì nếu mà đất nước không có ảnh hưởng lớn đến văn hóa của một người mà nơi người đó sinh ra, đúng không ạ, thì cái gì mới là cái yếu tố ảnh hưởng đến văn hóa của một người. Đó, thì vì thế cô mới hỏi Nhi là tại sao cái topic sentence này người ta lại đề cập đến globalization. Thì vấn đề là đấy, người ta có view B bởi vì globalization nó ảnh hưởng lên cái văn hóa của một người. Đó, chúng ta thấy là bây giờ phần lớn mọi người đều tiếp xúc hàng ngày với các nền văn hóa khác, đúng không ạ? Có nhà hàng, có phim ảnh, có các doanh nghiệp nước ngoài ở khắp nơi ở cái đất nước của người đó. Ờ, và thậm chí là toàn cầu hóa có thể đem đến cho chúng ta những cái lựa chọn văn hóa mà chúng ta thích. Và chúng ta thường thấy có những người ờ, thì họ ưa chuộng văn hóa của những nước khác, và bên cạnh đó thì mọi người ngày càng đi làm, học tập và đi du lịch xa đất nước quê hương của họ, và kết quả là những người này họ sẽ chịu sự ảnh hưởng mới đó của những nền văn hóa mới. Ok, đó thì cô ở đây khi mà cô muốn hỏi Nhi là tại sao cái view B người ta lại dùng globalization. Đấy là tại vì, đấy cô nhắc lại, đấy là tại vì người ta muốn giải thích nếu mà đất nước một người sinh ra không ảnh hưởng lớn lên văn hóa của người đó thì cái gì mới ảnh hưởng, đúng không ạ? Thì đấy là nền văn hóa của những nước khác đến được với các nước khác nhau là nhờ có toàn cầu hóa. Ok, đấy thì quay lại bây giờ chúng ta nhớ cho cô là khi con làm cái bài discuss both views này, Nhi sẽ phải thực sự là suy nghĩ kỹ về cái logic trong câu trả lời của chúng ta ấy ạ. Tại sao người ta lại có view A? Tại sao người ta lại có view B? Đó, chẳng hạn giống như là cái bài hôm trước chúng ta phân tích nhỉ, bài University Education với cả Soft Skills đấy ạ. À, completing a university education is thought by some to be the best way to get a good job. On the other hand, other people think that getting experience and developing soft skill is more important. Alright, thì chúng ta phải nghĩ được những dẫn chứng thật là strong, thật là relevant để chúng ta có thể bảo vệ từng quan điểm. Thì để làm được tốt bài này thì Nhi cứ đặt mình vào cái bối cảnh của cái view ấy, đặt mình vào put yourself in their shoes, yeah, put yourself in view A shoe, put yourself in view B shoe. Đó, nghĩa là mình đặt mình vào bối cảnh university graduates with a good degree thì sao, đúng không ạ? Ok, work experience thì như thế nào? Thì có thể set yourself apart from other applicants. Đó, right? Thì mình sẽ phải thật sự là chặt chẽ trong cái lập luận của mình. Right. Rồi. Với cái câu 4 này thì Nhi đã hiểu vấn đề chưa?
Dạ rồi ạ.
Ok, đó thì cô hỏi là tại sao người ta lại chọn globalization, là cô muốn Nhi thực sự là hiểu cái bản chất của bài discussion là như vậy nhé. Tóm lại khi chúng ta discuss ấy, là chúng ta phải làm thế nào để mình giải thích được, mình bảo vệ được cái lập luận của bên 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 mình, giải thích được, bảo vệ được cái lập luận của bên A, của bên B và của bên mình. Đó. Okay, so that's the argument for this writing. This is also a very good sample, I say, around band 9. Yeah. Not only because of the logic, but also because of the language used. So have you found a list of opinion phrases used in the essay? Can you tell me some of them?
Personally speaking, to my mind, my own view is
Good job. Good job. Any other thing? Where's to my mind? Sorry, I cannot see that.
is the final sentence.
Oh, okay. Yes, my own view, because I was looking at the middle. Okay, to my mind. Yes, I agree with that, with your answer. Hey, so can you tell me if you find anything interesting or worth learning from this article? Sorry, from this sample essay?
I see that the way the writer writes, it's just like they are having a speaking argument. Like if your country has a traditional style of music, instead of they use such as, they use say reggae or rock, reggae or rock.
I see. Yeah, so it's quite spoken in some places, right? And you don't like that style of writing? Well, if you don't, how could you improve it? Can you tell me? How could you improve this?
I don't say that I don't. I just say that I found it interesting. This
Ah,
range.
I see. Okay, so this is also a very natural way of writing. Yeah. But if you don't like it, well, if your country has a traditional style of music, such as reggae or rock, okay, such as is quite more common. Yeah. Say is quite unique. Yeah. Okay, thank you. For me, I like the concepts that they bring, the defining influence argument and the nurture argument. So actually in psychology, when I learned psychology at university, there are two major schools of thoughts. What influence a person's personality or character? So there are actually several school of thoughts. So you see here is the nurture argument, right? So nurture means how you are brought up, how you are raised, your environment, your education. So these are called nurture, the nurture argument. So how you are raised, the environment that you live in, the education you receive, all of these affect your character. However, there's also another side to the argument. There's the nature. Sorry, I put the cap locks here. Okay, so nature argument. So the nature argument is your gene. Yeah, your gene, your mentality, your personality. Okay, so the nature or nurture argument is an aspect in psychology. The people who support nurture say that education and environment and how a person's brought up are more important than nature. However, the nature argument is that you are born with a set of gene, mentality, and personality, and that cannot be changed easily by education. And there's a third in the argument. Actually, it's a mix of both. So a person's character is defined not only by nurture or not only by nature, but a combination of nurture and nature. So for example, a person who is born in a wealthy household, so environment, very wealthy, with a lot of opportunities for education. However, if they are not educated well, if they don't have the right genes, they may not grow up to be well-rounded persons. Yeah. But on the other hand, a person with a very good gene, like very intelligent or beautiful parents, but if they are not raised well in a supporting environment, they don't receive the correct education, they might not succeed in life. So both of them are important. Good genes and good education provide well-rounded humans. So that's the argument in psychology. Is it nurture or nature, or a bit of both? Okay, thank you, Nghi. Sorry, I talked too much again because it's a topic that I really like. Hey, so what have we done today? So today we have looked at Unit 8, writing. We reviewed describing a process and we read the sample writing from the book. And then we went on to explore discussion essay. We practiced writing. You did really well. And we also reviewed the writing process together with a sample answer. So your homework is task 2 writing. Okay, so you'll complete this essay. Some believe that people today have no interest in maintaining the traditional culture of their country or region. Others believe that it is still important to people that we preserve a traditional way of life. Discuss both these views and give your own opinion. So the topic is about culture. Very interesting. Okay, so number 1, you finish task 2, page 172 in the student's book. And number 2, you do the skills modules. So unit 8, writing skills modules. Let me see. Both tasks are practiced in this worksheet. Okay, so complete all of them, please. All right, so do you agree on this homework?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so thank you very much, Nhi, for joining today's lesson and listen to me ramble. Okay, so that's your homework. I hope you learned a lot of things, useful things doing the homework, and we'll see each other again Saturday evening. Okay, have a nice week. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Have a great night.
Thank you.